Ego breeds ego. You know, in life, as men, we experience other people. We experience other men who we may do something out of kindness for. We may give something, you know, for free, just out of the kindness of our own hearts, out of wanting to spread, whatever information or anything like that, or doing favors for people. And when people take your kindness, when people take your kindness for weakness, right, and they decide to maybe use something you did for them to exploit you, like, this person did a favor for me. They're such a little bitch. It's because they want my approval or something like that. Like if any of you guys have ever like held a door open for like a woman, for example, and it's not even because you liked her, it's just because you saw her coming behind you, so you like held the door open on your way out, and then she walks out and she goes like, ugh, pff, and she tries to act like you did it because you like her to like up her value. But really it's like, bitch, I just felt like doing that. Like, what the hell? Why does everything have to be a game, right? You feel kind of cheated, right? And then you become like a little sour about it because you're like, damn, it's like when I do nice shit for people, they just try to use it. They spin it. They try to spin it and make it look like it's because they're so cool or because they tricked me into doing it or something like that. And it becomes very tempting for you to just become like them because you're like, damn, if everyone's going to rip me off, I might as well start ripping other people off too, right? Whether it's emotionally, financially, whatever. But, and I'm not going to lie, I've even fallen for this shit in the past. Like, I've even become spiteful, and it's like, well, fuck it, if people are going to take advantage of me, the only way to get even is to, take advantage of them. But I'm here to tell you guys today, you have to, I'm not even going to say you have to resist that temptation to do that. You have to just let go of it. Because you got to understand, the price that someone pays for being like a fucking diva, or being one of those egotistical people that's always trying to like take from people and then not give in return, or rip people off, or try to spin things to make it look like they're like hot shit and then people do things for them just because they're so hot, shit like that. These people are actually incredibly lonely, and they need you way more than you need them. That's why they need to feel that's why they feel the need to play these games to begin with. And both men and women do this. But you want to avoid becoming like that, because if you do, you're going to start viewing people as nothing but a come up anyway. You're going to just view people as a tool to be used for your own selfish agenda. And then you're going to isolate yourself, and then you're not going to have any friends either. I'll give you guys an example, right? I'll give you the motivation for this video. There was a guy that I was cool with, and I was never really so cool with him, but, I give a lot more free information than I even let people know I do. Like, sometimes people pay me for a 1 hour, $50 call, right? And we'll talk for 4 to 5 hours, and I won't charge them an extra penny. I was just enjoying the conversation. I was enjoying giving them information. I'm more generous than I admit I am. And, people who have done business with me for a while, they know that. And it's cool. And most of them, 90% of them, are very appreciative and thankful, and it's cool. But every now and then you meet that one asshole who just decides, you know what, I'm going to take what you gave me and I'm going to pretend it's my own, and then I'm going to act like I've been tricking you to get this, or some stupid shit like that. Basically, the story is there's this other person that makes YouTube videos that nobody watches, and I didn't have a problem with that. I thought the individual was cool, so we would talk. I could tell this individual didn't really have any friends. They were lonely. But, in a world where men are treated like shit, I couldn't really blame the guy. I was like, I can kind of relate to you. Like, even though I'm a little more sort of socially in tune than you are, and I understand people more, I don't mind, chatting with you, giving you free information, yada, yada. So we would talk. He would call me for months, and every couple of days we'd talk for like an hour or two, bounce off ideas, stuff like that. I'd see him use some of it for his material. I didn't care. I was just enjoying the conversation. But then he would release videos talking about how my information was his information all along, and how he's really the one in control of things. And I'm like, bro, like, come on. Me and you both know that's not true. What are you doing? And then I'd confront him about it. He'd apologize. And that's the tricky thing. When you meet people that have this like diva attitude, when you call them out on it, a lot of the times what they're going to do, because they're egotistical, right? they're going to actually apologize and be like, I don't know what I was thinking, I'm sorry. And then you're like, oh, okay, cool, it's cool, don't even worry about it. And then you go back to talking, you go back to doing stuff for them, and then boom, what do you know, they do it again. It's like the dude releases another video dissing me, you know, why I came up with all the information that my YouTube channel used to be Itachi, right? So, oh, why I own Itachi, why I came up with all the information Itachi has, why it's all mine, me, ego. And it's like, bro, how can you have come up with everything? How can you be owning me when I got my information from tons of different people? I've studied all kinds of things and I put it together and I put my own little twist on it. How the hell can you take credit for all of that when it's multiple people that you've never even heard of that I've learned things from? But it's just ego, right? It's just people who are socially awkward, they don't know how to communicate, or they have this diva thing going on, and they want to feel like they have some kind of power in life. But there is no power in life, right? You just live, you enjoy other people, and then you die. There's no fucking eternal power. But a lot of people have a god complex or a diva complex, and they think, you know, I'm going to rip off all these people, right? And somehow I'm going to turn that into like an empire. Like the girls who have this diva attitude. So they stab all their girlfriends in the back and they just keep upgrading and upgrading. And, oh, I'll steal my girlfriend. I'll steal my friend's boyfriend. And I'll trick this guy into having a kid with me. And they think like they're going to climb this ladder into like perfection. And then boom, they nosedive all the way down. Because it's like, you can't build a lasting you can't build a lasting cycle of just treating people like shit and fucking them over. Eventually people are going to be like, you know what, we've had enough of your shit. Fuck your ego shit. Every diva falls off eventually, right? Every power hungry asshole falls off eventually. Every tyrant falls off eventually. You can't live your life with this mentality of, I'm going to be this egotistical power hungry asshole. I'm going to fuck over all these people and rip everyone off and expect to have a ton of friends who like you for you, expect to have decent, loyal people around you. You're going to isolate yourself when you do that, because who the hell wants to be around that energy? Who the hell wants to deal with someone when it's like every time they talk to them, they have to wonder if they're going to get ripped off. They're going to wonder if this person's going to create lies or rumors about them. And the dangerous thing about that is when you feel like you've been ripped off, and like I said, I've even fallen for this in the past. It's like you feel cheated, right? Because you feel like someone used something you gave them against you, or someone created a lie about you, or someone spun a favor you did for them as you being weak or needing them. You feel so like violated by that, right? Because it's really low to do some shit like that. You tell yourself, okay, the only way to protect myself from this is to be just like that. And so many men fall for this, so many women fall for this. You know, it's like the girl who gets cheated on, so she decides she's going to start cheating. And then before she knows it, she's just like a fucked up slut, the way like the dude who cheated on her. Like, all you do is lower your own value and close opportunities off for yourself when you decide to put on that ego mask because you feel like you've been cheated by someone else, right? Ego breeds ego in a lot of people. And if you look around you, every guy who's like a power-hungry asshole, every woman who's like a slut that cheats on people, it all stems from being hurt. It all stems from being cheated. It all stems from being abandoned. And even this individual who took my material that I very generously gave them for nothing and decided to try to put a spin on it and act like they owned it or they own me. This individual has admitted to me that they've been abandoned in the past. They've been beaten down in the past. So this person has a beaten down, traumatized sort of energy, sort of mentality. And instead of trying to just let go and heal, they're like, I'm going to become this power hungry asshole to compensate for how much I don't like myself because of how I've been cheated in the past. And I've even fallen for that at sometimes. I've done videos where I'm like, I felt inferior because, like, as a kid, my dad left me. So I'm like, oh, I'll just become rich to fill the pain of that. And that shit never works. All you end up doing is burning bridges around you when you decide to embrace that, like, it's almost, how you doing? It's almost like, it's almost like you're becoming the very thing you hate or the very thing that wronged you when you decide to pick up that ego mask, you know? So I know I did a video on the ego mask before, but since I have a fresh example, I wanted to do a video. And it's not really resisting the temptation when someone fucks you over. You got to understand, you got to look into the future, right? And you got to think to yourself, okay, If I become just as much of a piece of shit as this person who ripped me off, I'm probably going to start paying the same consequences as this person who ripped me off. I'm going to start losing friends the way that these people don't have any friends. I'm going to start burning bridges, right? And then before you know it, you don't have anything, you don't have anyone. And then you never achieve this power that you were chasing. You never achieve this diva status. All those bitches that fucked their friends over and fucked their friends' boyfriends and slutted their way up, what do they have to show for it when they're in their 50s and 60s and 70s? Like, the shit doesn't amount to anything. It just, you're literally just destroying yourself when you do stuff like that. So that's just the moral of this video, guys. Don't become the people that you feel like fucked you over, because you're going to pay the same price that they're paying, right? And it's just a vicious cycle of bitter, scorned people, right, who have been fucked over, who decide to start fucking over people. And it's almost like a virus or a parasite that spreads throughout everyone. So, like I said, I'm not perfect. I've even fallen for that in the past many times. For years, I fell for shit like that. But then you wake up and you're just like, yo, I'm tired of being angry all the time. Like, I'm tired of hating people. I'm tired of viewing people as a come up, you know? You start to just want to have real things. You want to start to have good things. You get sick of playing the game, you know? You get sick of, you either let the ego game destroy you or you get sick of playing it. But that's really that, man, you know? Ego breeds ego.